Everybody, hello. How are we? I hope everybody has had the best Thanksgiving ever. If not, that's okay too. But I hope that it's been awesome. Today we're talking about Room. My Apple Watch is being funky today, so I hope you can see it right in the frame. Um, Room by Emma Donahue. Let's just immediately start talking about what it is. Oh, before we do that, a personal pet peeve of mine is when at the beginning there are so many reviews by the critics. It's like, okay, we get it after 5. Should I count how many there are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. And it's like, could we not have slimmed that list down maybe to 10? Did you put those in the book expecting or hoping that the audience would read? Because they all kind of say the same thing, just in different words, you know? So that's honestly the hardest part to get through of the book is those first 35 reviews from everybody. Like, so many people. How many people from the New York Times need to write a review on this book and have that review be included in this? Anyway, that's just a personal irk of mine. If that's not for you, then that's awesome. Room. It was published in 2011, and it is. Let me tell you how many pages it is. 321 pages long, and it could have probably been 200. But let's talk about it. So, Room. Like, take a good look again. I feel like the cover's really good. It looks like Crayola, crayon. I don't know. From a child, and that's intentional. The narrator of the story is a 5-year-old little boy named Jack, and Jack and his mom live in Room. Okay, Room. It is really a genius idea of a book. Super, super genius. I'm going to be giving a few things away. Before I do, let's just see if I'd recommend this. Would I recommend this book? I would. I feel like the first 155 pages, to be exact, are incredible. You can't put it down. After it gets a little long-winded, but I think the story is so inventive and unique that I think everybody could read this book. And it's narrated by a 5-year-old, so it's not like it's super complex, the words or like the storyline. Like, you can honestly breeze through it. So yeah, I'd recommend this book. I think you should go read this. Yes, you go read it. Now let's talk about the story. And if you don't want to know anything about the story, stop right now. If you want to know the story but don't want the ending to get given away, keep watching. And then later I'll give the ending away. So the story is Jack and his mom. Jack's mom gets, and he calls, I can't even remember her real name. Maybe it's like Jennifer. But she's just referred to as Ma the whole time because that's how Jack knows his mom is Ma. So it's Jack and Ma, and Jack is 5 years old, and Ma is, maybe she's like 27. No, she's younger than that. She's like, let's say 24. I can't remember. Maybe even younger than that. But the reason that they're in Room is because somebody kidnapped Ma. Okay? This crazy man takes Ma. She was on college campus and she gets abducted. And he places her in a shed in his backyard. and the shed is like soundproofed. It's not permitted. There's like a sunlight, but all the doors lock, and she's back there. And she goes missing. For years she's missing. I think 7. And anyway, she, after I think about 2 years with Jack. I mean, wait, what? Not with Jack. 2 years of like being trafficked by this man in his backyard and her being lost to the world. No one knows where she is. She gets pregnant and she begs and begs and begs and begs this guy to let her keep the baby. And he's like, okay, you can keep the baby, keep you company, whatever. Like, if it won't change any of what's going on, then that's okay. And so she gives birth in room to Jack. And so Jack's entire world is this shed, a perfectly square shed that has, it has a kitchen and it has a rug, it has a bed, and I'm sure it's like a itty bitty tiny kitchen. She gets the square feet, but I can't remember exactly how much it is. Maybe it's like 20 by 20. Is that too big? Maybe it's like 12 by 12. It's a small shed. And it has a bathroom and whatever in there too. And anyway, Jack, as you know, the very first lines of the book are... Sorry, I have to skip through all the reviews. Today I'm 5. I was 4 last night going to sleep in wardrobe, but when I wake up in bed in the dark, I'm changed to 5. Abracadabra. Dang. So, yeah, Jack's whole world is room, and they have to, they plan an escape, and it is thrilling to say the least. So, really good book. Now let's talk about more. So I'm going to be spoiling some things. If that review is sufficient for you, don't listen to the next, because I'm going to start spoiling some things. Okay, officially, I'm giving you like 5 seconds because I know some of you are listening to me on 2 times speed, so I wanted to give you time to exit. Spoiler alert, they make it out, okay? They stage this elaborate, well, it's not super elaborate, but they stage this escape. And, yeah, she rolls him up in a rug. She pretends that he is dead in the rug. So they roll him up in the rug, and she's like, you need to get him out of here and don't bury him in the backyard. She's obviously so distraught, or she's acting like she is. And so he puts the rug with Jack in the back of the bed of his truck, and he drives off, and Jack has to wiggle out and just start running and try to find somebody and tell them that Ma is in this man's backyard. And it's just so interesting because his perspective, the way that Emma Donahue writes it, or the way that we see the book through Jack's eyes, is he really only knows what's in those 4 walls. Like, he's never seen grass before. He's never, when he escapes, there's a dog. And he's like, well, he's seen it in TV, but he thinks that the things in TV are in TV and not in the world, not in room. And so it's just really interesting, like psychologically, very, very interesting to read, to see from Jack's perspective. But they escape, Ma gets rescued, and yeah, they're taken to the hospital, tests are done on Jack and whatever, and yeah. That all happens in the first 155 pages. The escape happens at page 155, and that is by far the climax of the story. And so for the rest, for the 167, wait, what? Did I just make up that number? For however many pages are left, 166 pages left to read, it's all just, I don't know. Because it's like, and then it's like, and it just drags on for way too long, it feels like. For me personally, that's what I felt as I was reading. The thing that bothered me the most about the endings is Ma's family. I didn't like the grandpa, didn't like the grandma, didn't like Paul. They're just so dumb. They're like infuriating to read. Because it's so unbelievable, the things that they do. It's like, what? Let me read you this little excerpt right here. Sit down, Dad. He doesn't move. He's the world to me, she says. Her dad, and this is all obviously through Jack's perspective. Her dad? No, I think he is me. So he's the world to me. Jack is the world to me. Of course, it's only natural. The grandpa man wipes the skin under his eyes, but all I can think of is that beast and what he gets cut off. Oh, so you'd rather think of me dead and buried. He shakes his head again. Then live with it, says Ma. I'm back. It's a miracle, he says. I'm back with Jack. That's 2 miracles. He puts his hand on the door handle. Right now, I just can't. Ma says, last chance, take a seat. Nobody does anything. Like, what? Your daughter has been missing for 5 years. No, for 7 years. This is the first time you're seeing her in 7 years. And he is so bothered that Jack is 5 years old that he can't even, like, look at her or... It's like, what? That doesn't make any sense in my mind. No sense. I feel like I have a sister and I have a dad. If my sister was gone for 7 years and my dad gets to see my sister for the first time in 7 years after he thinks that she's dead, it wouldn't matter that Jack is there. Like that's his grandson. No matter who the dad is. It's so strange to me. It didn't make any sense. Another one. Blah, 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 blah. This guy named Paul. Okay? We won't even get into who Paul is because it's just pointless. Anyway, Jack says, well, he thinks in his mind, I need to pee. Paul brings me in a bathroom that has funny floppy sinks on the wall. He waves at them. Go ahead. Jack says, where's the toilet? Paul says, these are special ones just for us guys. Is Paul an idiot? This little 5-year-old boy needs to go to the bathroom, and the 5-year-old boy has been locked in a shed for the last 5 years, and you're saying go use this urinal. It's just so bizarre, like almost laughable. Not even almost. I am laughing. The grandma. Oh no, this is Stepa. So Ma's parents split in the time that she's gone for those 7 years. Grandma gets remarried to step grandpa. Stepa is what they call him. Ba 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 ba. He gives he gives, or he doesn't give, but Jack is playing with matches. And Stepa has to stamp on his foot, and he says, it was on your sock. He shows me the match all curled up. He rubs my sock where there's a black bit. Didn't your ma ever teach you not to play with fire? Jack goes, there wasn't. Stepa goes, there wasn't what? And Jack says, fire. And then Stepa, it just says, he stares at me. Like, didn't your ma ever teach you not to play with fire? No, he has been locked in a backyard for the last 5 years, the entirety of his life. Then the grandma. So nobody, and maybe I think Emma Donahue does this on purpose because there's no way that like I think she's trying to make a point of how much how much of a lack of empathy maybe there is in the world, and how like kids are just thrown in and expected to act a certain way even though they need teaching moments. I don't know. I don't know what Emma Donahue's doing right here, but it's frustrating because this is the last 160 pages is like just things like this happening over and over and over and over and over. Like even reading this is so dumb. When we come out, there Grandma and Jack go into a store. When we come out, there's a woman sitting on the ground with her hat off. Grandma gives me 2 quarters and points to the hat. Thank you, Grandma. What? I put one in the hat and I run after Grandma. When she's doing my seatbelt, she says, "What's that in your hand?" I hold up the second coin. "It's Nebraska. I'm keeping it for my treasures." She clicks her tongue and takes it back. "You should have given it to the street person like I told you to." Jack goes, "Okay, I'll," and she goes, "It's too late now." Like, what? I don't. And they don't do anything to explain to Jack what is going on. Poor Jack. Poor Jack. Anyway, I won't read anymore, even though I have more marked, but it's just, you get the point. And then 2 things that kind of I didn't like. One of them gets talked about at the end. So, like, if I had $1 for every time Jack describes that he gets breastfed in room, if I had $1 for every time that he mentions him breastfeeding. He obviously doesn't use the word breastfeeding, but you get the point from Jack's perspective, what's going on. I'd probably have more than $50. Like, it's mentioned with frequency. Yeah, probably about 50. Yeah, probably about 50. It's crazy. And I didn't like it because I was like, little boy's 5. You have food. Well, you have, I don't know. Anyway, when Ma escapes, they're going to do this TV interview and she's going to tell her whole story, right? And this newswoman says, the woman nods. "You breastfed him. In fact, this may startle some of our viewers. I understand you still do? ? Ma laughs. The woman stares at her. In this whole story, that's the shocking detail? And it was like, dang, Emma Donahue really got me there. Because every time he'd mention it, I'd be like, I don't know, just like cringe on the inside, just this much. But I guess that's right. Like, out of the whole shocking, horrible story, that is what, like, the big detail that I focused on was, Anyway, the second thing, Ma in room loses a tooth. Jack sucks on the tooth for the entirety of the book until the end. He sucks on Ma's tooth. I didn't like that. I don't understand what that was supposed to be. Really, I don't get it. So if any of you read it and know what the deal is with that, I don't know. Like, what is Emma Donahue trying to say? And then the ending. The ending is actually very good because it references this, not a joke, but this like teaching moment that Ma and Jack had when they were in room so long ago. They go back to room to get Jack's toys, I think, or the last of Jack's things. He just wanted closure. He wanted to see room one more time. And yeah, he says goodbye, room, and then it's over. So I liked this book. I liked the beginning half probably 10 times more than the end half, but I liked it. I liked what Emma Donahue had to say. I'm all ears. Let me know if you've read Room, what your thoughts are on it, and yeah, what book should I read next? Because I'm open to recs. Everybody had a good rest of your weekend, And I'm sure I'll be talking to you again soon. Actually, I know I'll be talking to you soon because the next book that I'm reading is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. So come back to that one for sure. Ciao.